Goal number 2 is we want L2s to be trustless, right? So we want proof systems to be able to finalize correct states and block incorrect states.
On Ethereum, the problem is that they have no control over what the layer 2s are actually doing. Base have been collecting 110 million sequencing fees for the previous year, while only giving back $10 million to Ethereum. And the reduced fees for layer 1 means the consensus is undermined and therefore the security is compromised.
What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Mite, actively escaping the matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, in the previous vid, we went over the foundational issues Ethereum has as a layer 1 in its current state. If you haven't watched that yet, go ahead and watch it. In today's vid, we'll go over the financial aspect. Basically, Ethereum got robbed of millions of dollars by layer 2s, which again speaks of Ethereum's foundational issues and how Kaspa will not only do this much differently and way better, but also more according to the original ethos of early crypto projects like Bitcoin were built on, whilst being future-proof. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good. Before we start, Crypto Crew, always remember to keep your crypto investments safe. Practicing self-custody is key, especially during this 2025 bull run. In my personal opinion, the Tangent wallet is your best option. Plug and play, easy to use, and the most affordable cold storage. So if you wish to order your Tangent wallet today, you can get 10% off using code CryptoCrew. Check out the link in the description box below. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
Withdrawing from Optimism or Arbitrum takes a withdrawal period of 1 week. If we can find ways to reduce that 1 week window and make it something that's much faster, basically make communication between Ethereum L2s be as fast as doing things on Ethereum L1 itself, then we can solve a lot of these problems. We want to ask the question, well, why do we have these 1 week withdrawal windows right now? So the answer is that Optimism and Arbitrum and Inc., all of these stage 1 rollups that we have right now, they are optimistic rollups, right? Optimistic rollups basically means that the way that they prove that what's going on L2 is correct is that someone publishes a hash, and then you wait for a period of 1 week, and during that period of 1 week, you wait for someone else to challenge it. You wait for someone else to provide a proof that that hash is incorrect. And if nobody provides that proof, then you accept the hash. The nice thing about optimistic systems is that they depend on very proven technology. There's not much cryptography, there's just hashes. It depends on game theory. It's a relatively simple construction, but the challenge is that in order to accept something, you have to wait 1 week. Now, why do you have to wait 1 week? Because, well, there are exceptional circumstances where potentially the chain might break, things might happen for periods that are less than that, right? For 8 hours is a delay during which people might be asleep. 1 day is 12 hours is the longest for which Ethereum has had a full outage. Back in 2016, the chain had a consensus failure where it went offline for about half a day. If we add like an extra safety buffer on top of that, we basically get to 1 week.
1 week is totally unacceptable in this age of the crypto ocean. In 2025, you'd expect a layer 1 to be able to scale and be lightning fast. Kaspa will be able to scale without giving up security and decentralization. Keep in mind, Crypto Crew, this isn't me or any of the Kaspa community putting down Vitalik Buterin or Ethereum. I mean, I invested in Ethereum in the past, but this is about the evolving nature of the crypto ocean, which Kaspa proves not only superior to ETH, but also adaptable to this new crypto era. This is about dealing with facts.
On Ethereum, the problem is that they have no control over what the layer 2s are actually doing. The issues can be outage. This happened with Arbitrum, and things can be higher rollback rates, which means that people are rolling back transactions for their own sake, and ultimately means reduced fees for layer 1s.
Basically, the idea is that you have 3 proof systems. One of them is optimistic rollup, one of them is ZK EVM, and one of them is EVM executing inside of trusted hardware. And you require 2 out of 3 of them to finalize a particular block.
You can see on the bottom half here that people are saying Base have been collecting 110 million sequencing fees for the previous year, while only giving back $10 million to Ethereum. And the reduced fees for layer 1 means the consensus is undermined and therefore the security is compromised. And you can see here, right, especially after March 2023, the on-chain fees are going high on L2s, and that is always happening.
Kaspa will not make the same mistake Ethereum has made so far. The competition is too big in this age. That's why Kaspa got some heavy hitters building on the Kaspa network, including guys that are very well versed in this space, which is a tribute to Kaspa's true decentralized nature.
Michael Sutton, Kaspa's core architect, defined his vision for Kaspa Layer 1 as the world sequencer, the ultimate sequencer, exactly. So IGRA is our team's interpretation for what crypto stack on Kaspa should look like. It's a base rollup. Again, like we build EVM, which derives its state consensus from layer 1. Right, we don't have any consensus on layer 2 because we use Kaspa as a sequencer. Other builders will, and they may see it differently. And yeah, some envision, Anton's team envision native L1 smart contracts. That's a long-term project, right? I mean, as long as there is innovation and projects leverage Kaspa's community to build, like we're happy to see diverse ecosystem develop. It's another aspect of decentralization, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly the point, that everyone can build and build differently, right?
Being fully decentralized keeps things fair in accordance to the original Bitcoin and early crypto ethos, whilst moving forward into the future. Ethereum shows it simply cannot. If ETH fails to address its foundational issues, Ethereum will follow behind rapidly and lose its position on the crypto ocean.
Goal number 2 is we want L2s to be trustless, right? So we want proof systems to be able to finalize correct states and block incorrect states, even if the components that require trust are broken, right? So today, rollups are either stage 0 or stage 1, which means that they're putting some amount of trust or all of their trust in some kind of security council multisig. A security council is a group of people, right? You might trust them, but potentially you might not trust them.
The Ethereum cumulative MEV boost rewards is $1.4 billion US. And this is not counting in what is collected by L2s, right? Because if you look at the news, Base Chain just offered less than 10% of their sequencing fee back to Ethereum. So I would argue that maybe L2s collected 10 times more than this. There are 32 more layer 2s like this on Ethereum. I know not everyone is as big as Base, but there are 33 more Ethereum L2s. It means at least about 1,000 times of this money that should have been going back to decentralized sequencers, or at least a part of them should be kicked back to users who send the transactions, who allow the sequencers to exploit them by reordering their transactions. And that is why this allows people to generate more income with more blocks.
The basic goal is we need 12-second native asynchronous communication between L2s and the L1. In this kind of world, users might still use intents for many operations. So the simple reason is speed and cost. Basically, even in this world, moving ETH from Optimism to Arbitrum natively, it would still take 12 seconds plus an Optimism block plus an Arbitrum block, maybe altogether like 15 to 20 seconds. But if you use intents, Optimism and Arbitrum both have slots that are much faster than Ethereum slots, and so you will be able to do it in 2 seconds.
The answer we offer you is that we think competition solves this problem. We think that more blocks means that people have to bid for your transactions to be included in their blocks, and therefore that increases fairness for everyone. The design we have is that, for instance, if there is a, let's say, miner that wants to include a transaction in one of its blocks because they think ordering this block in a specific way can make them some money, let's say a sandwich trade for themselves, then to make sure they get this block included, this transaction including their block, they must kick back this money, at least part of it, to share the money with the users, right? Think about it. For Solana or any chain that you only have one block on the chain, and if this block wants to order the transactions in whatever ways he or she wants to, they can just do it without asking you, because now, in whatever ways, elected or staked, now they are the leader and they control this round of sequencing. This is the same logic across the history of crypto and blockchain, that you want to have more decentralized network so people can compete for different things. And therefore, this only matters and only can happen on Kaspa, because now you have more blocks.
This is why I believe Kaspa is the second coming of Bitcoin, especially once Kaspa's catalysts are rolled out, with Kaspa's endgame being DAC Knight, which will be apocalypse proof. You can watch a vid on that here. It's just a matter of time and adoption before Kaspa overtakes what I call Kaspa's failing that being Ethereum. Experienced investors realize these are the times to study the crypto ocean. The brave ones also buy the dip. Not financial advice, of course, just my conviction I share with conviction. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.